Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and this is the 194th video on my video journal series. Today's date is Friday, the 21st of August 2026. How's everyone been? I've been pretty good, thank you. And today, I was feeling a bit better in the morning just in terms of my illness. Currently right now I have like a fever or a cold. I'm not quite sure what it is, but yeah, in the morning I was like, all right, well, things are getting better. I feel a lot healthier. I feel a lot, more active. And then around in the afternoon, I started just getting like a very, very big fever again, kind of like yesterday as well. Where in the mornings I do fine, but then like around midday, early afternoon, suddenly I just get like a big, big fever. And sorry, my voice might fluctuate a bit throughout this video, because when I speak like really low, you can kind of like notice the change in my voice. Meanwhile, if I put a little bit more effort into it, I can sound a little bit normal. But anyway, so yeah, and I was like pretty much bedridden the entire day. I didn't really go outside. Um, and yeah, luckily I had some Panadol. My mum gave me orange juice, some food, and all of that. And I have a lot to thank her for, for taking care of me these last few days where I've been incredibly sick. And even though I feel okay now, because I just had like a shower, brushed my teeth, a few hours ago, I was like, it felt like a furnace was burning in my head, like how sort of bad that fever got. And hopefully tomorrow, I'm fine. Hopefully tomorrow, the same thing doesn't repeat where I'm healthy enough to resume work again. Because today I was on the laptop, doing some work in my bed. But then it got to the point where, my forehead started reaching like 38, 39 degrees. And even up to like 40 degrees, apparently, my mum said when she you know, got one of those like what you would call it, those heat temperature um, scanners, and all I heard was like beep, 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 which indicates like a very high temperature. And she says, "Oh, you're nearing 40 degrees Celsius." I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but yeah, it is pretty serious. So yeah, right now, as of me recording this video, I'm feeling a lot better, and I hope tomorrow I recover and I'm not sick because I really don't want to miss out on uni on Tuesday. So I've got a few days. Um, but yeah, I was pretty much just in my bed, and there's nothing much you can do when you're like sick, but I was watching YouTube on my phone, my mobile phone, and yeah, I was pretty much just watching YouTube nearly the entire day. But I've grown to dislike YouTube mobile. That's the second half of this video, I guess. YouTube mobile. It seems like recently, right, when they because YouTube, right, they always like changing these small little things in the app. They always like changing the interface, the whole look of the website itself or app. And one thing that they changed is ads. So when you get an ad on YouTube, at least on mobile and desktop as well, um, there's a mini like message that appears on the bottom right corner saying "We'll be right back," and then the video fades automatically and it plays an ad. However, and this is an issue that I've been getting only just recently, never before, is that when the video like fades, sometimes it fails to play an ad because of a technical error. And it's just so annoying because um, you try exiting the YouTube app on your phone or iPad or whatever. I've just gotten this issue on my phone. Then you try re-enter the app, rewatch that same video at the exact same part, and then the same thing happens. It won't load up the ad. I actually had a thing today where, because the one thing I hate about, I guess, YouTube mobile is that now they just got so many pop ups, for ads. Like they play you an ad, and then when the ad ends, they still show a mini ad in the corner. So you just got to click on it manually and press discard, which I just hate. Play me an ad on YouTube, right? But don't place a little thing in the bottom corner where you're gonna press those three dots so that you can like press remove. It is just so annoying. And sometimes when an ad plays on YouTube mobile, the bottom half of the screen will like show a pop up for like that business or an ad. And sometimes that like mini pop up window at the bottom doesn't load correctly. So it ends up like just ruining sort of the entire interface. Like, oh, it fades to black. It's about to play an ad. But then the bottom, like, screen, um, where you can usually see like videos, likes, and all that. That's just covered by like a blank space. So you try exiting the app, you go back into YouTube mobile. That's what I'm going to call it, YouTube mobile. And yeah, the same thing happens at that specific point in the video, or when you even like try to like fast forward. Um, you can't select another YouTube video because you know when you exit that full view on YouTube mobile, suddenly, oh, I can't like swipe this blank thing down, so you're gonna manually exit out of the video. But even when you go back to that video, the same thing happens. And I'm like, all right, all these just technical things, right? Mostly with YouTube ads, right? I feel like they just sort of degraded the user experience. YouTube on mobile now is like really buggy. Before I never had that issue. It played an ad and then it resumed back to the video. You had to do like nothing else really. You don't have to like, you know, press here to get rid of this pop up, or hey, we've glitched out the entire sort of viewing experience for you. And it doesn't matter if you exit out of the app or exit out of that video and repress that video, you'll get the exact same issue. And I think, that sort of thing, right? It's just not only just infuriating, but I'm like, why can't I just keep the old system in place? But yet again, though, I guess it's due to the fact that YouTube constantly wants to change, and it's only recently where they put that like "we'll be right back" message, and then the video like automatically like fades out. That's a recent thing, but I feel like the introduction of that has resulted in some bugs. And obviously that was just my little rant on YouTube mobile. YouTube on desktop, when I'm on my computer, seems like it's a lot better. I don't really get those, um, I guess, like ad issues. If an ad just fails to play, I can usually just refresh the page and it'll be all right. But on mobile, I've been experiencing all these issues, and yeah, I think some people watching this video can like relate to me. Have you ever had a problem with YouTube mobile where the ad doesn't play correctly and it just like janks up the entire video? I've had that happen to me not only just today but a few other times these last couple of months. It is honestly very annoying, and I feel like YouTube now, um, has changed, obviously, but I don't think all these changes are necessarily positive. In fact, only just recently um, did YouTube increase the requirements for you to get ad um, part of the, to monetize your videos, to put ads on your videos there. I forgot the specific program name because I'm sick, but I remember um, they increased partnership. I think that's what it's called, YouTube partnership. So now you pretty much need like double the watch hours, double the views, and all that, so that you can monetize your videos on YouTube. Which I just obviously it'll be a long way before I'm able to monetize videos on YouTube. But I think it greatly disadvantages small creators. Um, and what else? I used to remember when YouTube used to have like a trending page, but now everything's all like AI generated. So if you go on the homepage of Google, on YouTube, sorry, not Google. I mean Google owns YouTube, but if you go on the front page of YouTube, um, you get no trending tab, no like automatic suggestions. You get automatic suggestions, but you have to watch videos in order for those suggestions to pop up. So now it says, all right, search up videos to get started. You watch one video, and then suddenly it shows you a list of recommended videos. And I think it's all, sort of like AI based now. I guess YouTube's always been algorithm, like based on an algorithm. But, I think um, you know, all these, what should I call it? How can I phrase this? I guess they're um, algorithm now is powered by AI, if that makes sense. I just feel like a lot of social media companies, not just YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram and all that. Even though I don't use Facebook and Instagram, I feel like they've greatly been more skewed towards AI, but not in like a good way. So yeah, I know this seems like a very sort of like random topic to discuss today, but being bedridden and just scrolling YouTube and all that, there's like some things that just you know mildly infuriate me, and especially when you're sick, you don't really have patience or you don't really have the energy to deal with these issues. And I guess today I consumed a lot of YouTube, um, so I was more, I guess, likely to be exposed to these issues, which I mentioned. But yeah, obviously, I still prefer YouTube and all that. I'm not going to stop uploading videos on YouTube. But I feel like YouTube does need to fix some bugs within the system, and obviously, I feel like it's grown more competitive. I guess if you want to get like ads on your videos, or if you really want to break into the YouTube scene, um, which I guess comes with time. YouTube is pretty much constantly growing in terms of its user base. It's pretty much like near constant, maybe a few blips here and there, but I feel like if you really want to, I guess, make a living off YouTube, it's increasingly harder. And I feel like social media, including YouTube and all that, have really you know in some ways they've improved, but in other ways they've sort of ruined the user experience, especially when it comes to ads. I don't mind if you show me an ad on a social media platform, but sometimes they're just intrusive. I feel like ads on these platforms are more intrusive than they were, let's say, 10 years ago. Because sometimes on YouTube, I could be watching a video and then suddenly my hand slips and then I get redirected to a website link for an ad, but I have to like click out of it because it might be a scam. Or sometimes you get like those like insurance ads or whatever, and you see like a mini window that pops down that like has all your private information, which is found on your like Google profile. It just pretty much autofills it for you so that you can like sign up, get a life insurance quote or whatever. I do not like that. I don't know why that is a thing. And sometimes you get like those mini like quizzes. What's the point of those like uh, like quiz ads that you get on YouTube? Like, which one of these brands do you prefer? I guess it's not really a quiz, more rather like um, a would you rather. But it just it's completely, I guess, unnecessary because you can always press skip survey. That's what I should be calling it, survey. But it just reminds me of a quiz because it's got like that music playing in the background, like dun dun dun, kind of like Jeopardy, and it gives you like a bunch of options. But yeah, those like survey ads on YouTube, who the hell actually does them? Because you can always press skip survey. You don't have to like press an option. Um, so yeah, I feel like they're kind of like pointless. You know, like if a brand, right, wants to get recognition on a social media platform, why would it do its survey? Why not just put like an ad in there? Excuse me. Yeah, why don't you just like put an ad in there? Like instead of asking people, all right, which one of these brands do you prefer? that brand should be directly advertising. Now, I'm no advertising expert, but I feel like the latter would make more sense. But yeah, that's just my little rant, I guess, about YouTube and AI and ads and all that. But yeah, I honestly, I still appreciate YouTube and being able to upload on this platform, even if I might be, a little bit sick and all that. I still find enjoyment in continuing this video journal series. However, I feel like the way sort of things are going at YouTube, just these like problems and all these like little criticisms that I have, it makes me think, will YouTube still be around in 10 or 20 years' time? I don't mean to be, bleak and all that, but I often wonder, what if YouTube gets replaced by another social media platform, or like file sharing website. And then I think to myself, well, YouTube already has such a large base. It's owned by Google, they can just pour endless money into it. And obviously, I like YouTube. I was raised with YouTube and all that. So I don't want to see YouTube go. But, I feel like um, there needs to be some improvements, maybe bring back the trending tab. Um, Maybe to sort of fix the ad system, the copyright system, and all that. Yeah, I could imagine if like one of my videos gets like a copyright strike, and then the way you dispute it, it's so dumb, because if you dispute it, but if you lose, you get like a strike. So you basically risk your entire channel, on just like a small case of copyright. Sometimes people can abuse these systems. I'm not going to go into that book, but all those, I guess, sorts of things. And I guess um, why would I guess YouTube listen to some guy with 4 subscribers? But I feel like other people would know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if those issues can be fixed, when it comes to ads, mostly just ads in particular and like small little bugs and issues with like I guess ads not ruining the video experience or ads just like crashing the video. I think YouTube will be a lot better, um, and it'll certainly make it easier for me to watch some videos and not having to like exit out of that video. Then you're gonna like wait a while, or you're just gonna watch a completely new video, or just grab another device that supports YouTube and watch that YouTube video on there because it just seems to be affecting YouTube Mobile. In fact, sometimes I actually like watching YouTube on the Nintendo Switch. Now I know that here's like the last thing I'm gonna end on. um, I know that YouTube on home and I think it's video game consoles and maybe YouTube TV. I know they got longer ads than the ones on desktop and mobile. Like whenever I click on a video on YouTube on the Nintendo Switch, sometimes you get like 30 seconds of ads playing before the video starts, which is significantly longer than the ones you get on desktop or mobile. Um, and it gives you like pretty much like no option to skip. But the reason why I like viewing YouTube on the Nintendo Switch is that it doesn't give me like random um, link redirects. It doesn't like autofill all my private information for this insurance company that I don't care of. And I just like, its sort of primitiveness and doesn't really have like the same sort of issues that YouTube Mobile has. Um, you know, and you can still log in like your actual accounts and, still like videos and still leave comments and all that, uh, which I like. Pretty much the only like downside is the longer ad duration, but it's a safe version of YouTube. I know YouTube on desktop, they well I guess YouTube in general, right? You see a lot more like AI ads and all these like websites which can give you like viruses and scams and all that. You don't really get that with YouTube on the Switch or PS5 or Xbox Series X or really any home video game console, even YouTube TV. So I guess like in that sense it's safer, but you know, uh, one thing I don't like about YouTube desktop is that some of the ads, they're in like the same sort of shape as the videos. So you might like scroll down, nearly click on an ad, thinking it was like a video, which I really hate. Why do they do that? Especially if it's like some scam website or website with like inappropriate content or whatever. I don't want to view that. So yeah, that's just like if I really had to end this video. There's all my books closed. All in all, I guess the more time that I spend on YouTube in a day, the more um, things I'm going to experience where I'm like, all right, well, that's inconvenient, or things that I've yet gotten used to, or I count like small bugs here and there, especially with ad playback. But you know, it is, I guess, what it is, and um, you know, at the end of the day, I YouTube is pretty much the only like quote unquote social media that I use, and especially when you're in bed all day like I was, you have nothing else to do. You just go on YouTube, but I feel like all these like small little technical issues and all that kind of breaks you out of the immersion. And even like uploading videos onto YouTube nowadays, I feel like it is a little bit. Oh, excuse me, I constantly burp in this video. How inappropriate of me. I feel like uploading videos nowadays is a little bit, yeah, again, more competitive, but I can't really blame YouTube for that. And, I feel like this is just me, like old man yelling at a cloud, but, that's just my general thoughts on the YouTube experience, viewing, and a little bit of uploading. And yet again, I apologize if today's video seems a little bit dry. Um, I'm just a little bit under the weather, to reference yesterday's video title, but um, it's something that I guess want to do. I share for a while, and hopefully YouTube can fix these small bugs and maybe bring back some old features like the 5-star rating system. Honestly, it would be cool if YouTube brought back the 5-star rating system. I know they won't, but like, I feel like, uh, you know, these all old features, with YouTube. Some of it can be brought back, like the 5-star rating system. Uh, you know, title cards. That's another thing. I used to remember when YouTube had title cards. Be cool if they brought back that again. I don't know why they got rid of them in the first place. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like uh, that's pretty much what I wanted to say, and hopefully I get well. Hopefully I get better tomorrow. Hopefully I get well soon. Anyway, bye. See you. Take care, and catch you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye.